I fucking love Halloween, and recently there's nothing I've wanted more than to be sitting in front of the TV on a windy Halloween morning watching the Cartoon Network classic, Scary Godmother. Good morning and happy Halloween, everyone. Scary Godmother released in 2003 and aired on Cartoon Network in the United States during the upsetting childhoods of kids between the years of 2004 and 2012. The film follows 5 kids on Halloween night who dare their little cousin to go into a haunted house and then leave her to die. The movie is based off of a book series also written by Jill Thompson, which as of the year 2000 has 4 installments. There are also comic books and other Scary Godmother media. Today though, we're only going to focus on Scary Godmother Halloween Spooktacular. You know, that ultimate golden gem that you would see before going to school on Halloween. Man, I miss skipping school on Halloween. Different type of skipping school. The film is only about 50 minutes long, so we're going to watch quite a bit of it together, and I'm going to explain to you guys why I love this movie. The first person that we're introduced to is Katie. Katie seems like the nice Girl Scout out here slanging cookies, but in reality, she's just as fucked up as the rest of the group. Later on in the movie, she will become kinda the first real moral character, but way too late for redemption. Next, we meet Daryl. Daryl is a piece of candy.
Daryl, are you a piece of candy?
Yeah, cool, huh?
Daryl jokes around a little bit with Bert and seems to be romantically interested in Katie. However, much like every other character in this movie, he doesn't actually add much to the story. Then this motherfucker pulls up and immediately hits us with this bullshit.
Hey, Bert! Got enough room in your trunk for all the candy we'll get? I said, do you have... Roll down the window.
Remember for later that Bert's SUV doesn't have automatic windows.
Ah, that's better. Now I can hear you. Sweet ride.
My man Daryl just gave up asking his question. He knows he ain't getting nowhere with Bert. This should be your foreshadowing of Bert, because he just don't stop. He's just the party animal, he's Bert.
I'm a baseball player in his SUV. It's loaded with all the options, including anti-lock brakes and an atomic-powered laser cannon. Right on. I'm a piece of candy.
Like, goddamn, Daryl's over here looking like a chump in front of his girl because Bert's gotta hit him with the shade laser. Damn, Bert. If his SUV really is that souped up and high-tech with all the new advancements, why doesn't it have powered windows? These 3 really don't have a major role in the story other than to interact with Jimmy and to pad runtime. I feel like they didn't have too many scenes with them actually storyboarded before they made this, and they just kind of started throwing shit in there after the fact. In fact, there's little to no substance or moral to the story at all, other than don't be an asshole and prejudice is bad, which both of those statements are accurate. Don't be an asshole and prejudice is bad. Some old ass man visiting his wife's grave on November 1st, wiping off Converse tracks.
Speak of the devil, and the devil shall appear!
Jimmy is deranged, and enjoys to subject children to terrifying situations. His little cousin Hannah, who is tagging along with the group to trick-or-treat tonight, is our main protagonist, along with the Scary Godmother.
Come on, Hannah!
I'm coming, Jimmy!
What the fuck happened here? Is that an eye twitch? A wink? Did she wait? Like, what the fuck? Hannah is your typical little girl. Sweet, dressed like a fairy, and slightly fucking annoying. She is the sole victim of Jimmy's Halloween assault.
Hi, Hannah.
I like your fairy princess wings. I helped with the glitter.
Really? My mom doesn't let me touch glitter. Not since that incident with the glue and the dog.
The what? At first, the group is really nice to Hannah. They all compliment her costume and say hi. She even gives them all king-size candy bars.
Thanks, Hannah.
That's cool of you. I'll put this in my glove compartment for later.
We see Hannah freak out about the monsters, and she accidentally kills Jimmy with her God gun flashlight. This prompts Katie and Candy Boy over there to do a skit about Hannah's parents, which I don't fully understand. I guess it's just really to pad runtime. Yeah.
Are you anxious to get outside with all the monsters, Pumpkin?
She'll be fine. She'll be with Jimmy and his friends. They're very responsible. Especially that Katie. She's got a good head on her shoulders.
I'm just glad she's going with Daryl. He's so big and strong, he can take care of any monsters.
Monster?
Ding dong.
This whole skit is really just a way to add some more personality to the characters and kind of create this relationship between Katie and Daryl, which will have no effect on the movie at all as a whole.
We both know Katie will look out for her.
I trust that Daryl, with his boyish good looks and sense of fair play.
Ding dong.
Jimmy then reveals his devious plot to ditch Hannah to the group, who despite being hesitant at first, were extremely willing to leave a little girl in a graveyard all night by herself.
Twice as much candy without her.
Then we're agreed. Follow me, and I'll make sure we have the best Halloween yet.
The group's original plan was to ditch Hannah and then go trick-or-treating in order to maximize their candy profits, as they thought that they would be able to go faster without a little kid. Jimmy then convinces Hannah that in order to be a big kid, she has to eat candy in the basement of the spook house.
Well, if you're a big kid, you won't be afraid to trick-or-treat the spook house.
Side note, the abandoned house that I used to play in as a kid was called Spook House, except ours had a pump jack right out back, so, you know, salt. Hannah fearlessly walks into the spook house, perfectly fine, until the kids take turns relentlessly scaring her, like genuinely trying to induce a pediatric heart attack.
Hannah, look! The owner's ghosts! Over there!
Leave your cat wrapping in the closet!
You hear that witch laughing?
Or the werewolf.
At this point, Hannah breaks down crying in fear, believing that her life is over. Because keep in mind, Jimmy has told her that she will be eaten and killed in this house. Then, out of asbestos-filled air, the scary godmother appears. Hannah is in no way scared of an adult who just manifested out of a fucking blue beam of light. Hannah's fears kind of turning on and off like that throughout the movie is a really common theme. I think it's supposed to show that Hannah isn't actually afraid of the monsters, she just thinks she is because that's what she's been told.
Why are you crying?
Because I like the sound of booing.
The scary godmother is everything you would expect from a children's character. She's a whimsical, funny jokester who abducts Hannah and takes her to her home in a different land.
Take you over to my realm in the front side and introduce you.
She gives this child candy and food and whatever else she wants, and introduces her to all her adult friends. The exact type of person you want your kids hanging out with on Halloween night. Back with the sociopaths, we see that they have near zero empathy. I mean, look at Katie rolling around on the ground, like...
We were gone!
Priceless! You've been filling her head full of stories all night, Jimmy. She was so easy to scare.
What the fuck, Katie? The scary godmother's roommate, he lives in a broom closet, is a skeleton in a closet, and is the source of multiple adult jokes. Like this.
Does everyone have a skeleton in their closet?
Almost everyone, little miss.
And my personal favorite.
When it comes to Halloween night, I love nothing more than to roll the bones at a good party.
Smoke weed every day.
This is also the point in time where we, the viewer, and Hannah are both told that a house party is happening tonight at the Scary Godmother's, and all the monsters are gonna be there. Any boo who's boo is gonna be at this party. My dad is so disappointed in me. The party slowly fills up with monsters that Hannah can't decide whether or not she's afraid of. The monsters come in so separated and literally one by one except for the family of vampires. So I'm gonna go ahead and just introduce them all real quick. Our next guest is Harry, a very hungry, very annoying werewolf. Then we have the royal family of vampires, Count Max, Ruby, and their son Orson. And finally, Bugaboo, a big-ass purple thing. I don't know what he is.
Hey! You starting a party without me?
We cut back to the kids in the graveyard, who are all in completely different headspaces than they were a few minutes ago. Bert, acting as the voice of reason for once, opts to let Hannah out of the house early because they're wasting their trick-or-treating time.
Aw, man, this is wasting our precious trick-or-treating time.
Which, going back to the original plan, if they had just left and trick-or-treated without her, it wouldn't have been an issue, because then they could have just returned at the end of the night and picked her up, and everything would have been fine anyway. At the same time, Jimmy is contemplating his next war crime, while Katie and Daryl are having this little moment.
If you pick first, then you won't need to trade with me all the time.
I like trading with you, Daryl. I never know what I want until you pick it out first. And this little bag of gumdrops for this sugar cluster.
Okay.
Oh, and this shoeless Joe for 3 kisses.
Okay. Wait. I don't have any kisses. Oh. Breaker. We've lost contact with Katie and Daryl. Please advise Houston, over.
Nobody puts CBs in SUVs these days.
You just left your baby cousin to the mercy of killer monsters on Halloween night, and you're concerned with the additions and upgrades in my cardboard SUV?
If his SUV really is that souped up and high-tech with all the new advancements, why doesn't it have powered windows? Powered windows came out in 1940. Why does he have a fucking laser on his car, but not powered windows? This bitch probably has fucking heated and cooling seats and steering wheel, but no powered windows, and motherfucker. At the party, Harry the werewolf comes in and starts to cause an absolute ruckus.
Little from the goodie plate, I believe. You won't mind if I just sample the delicacies, do you? No!
This will continue throughout the film, that Harry just kind of upsets the whole environment, destroys the vibe, absolutely gets rid of all the aura. This is also our first example of how Harry and Scully just don't get along, which is fair. I hate this weeaboo bitch too.
It's Ophelia St. Tartar, who played the Princess of Ectoplasmania in episode 42 of The Spectral Six. She's practically in the same costume as well. What a priceless in-joke for those of us who are longtime spectators, like myself.
He is so annoying, it actually makes me want to cry and kashoop myself in the cock. Max, Ruby, and Orson are a family of vampires, and that's it. Scary Godmother says that the vampires are royalty, which, if that is accurate, that just means that Scary Godmother is able to invite the king and queen of vampires over for a 5-person Halloween party.
I know it's intimidating being around royalty, but don't worry. We should offer them some refreshments, don't you think?
Yeah, that's probably good manners when you're dealing with kings and queens.
So there must be like a total of maybe 30 monsters, and 25 of them are like garbage human beings. Or Scary Godmother is some sort of like god in the horror realm, the Halloween town. Also, of the 3 vampires, Ruby is the only one with normal eyes, and that just... Do some vampires have the red eyes and other ones don't? Was she turned into a vampire? What is the deal with that? The children do children things, and then they run away and cause bad things to happen, because that's what children do. Scully and Harry were just peacefully walking around the kitchen when suddenly Hannah and Orson come smashing through the door a la Kool-Aid Man and knock Harry flat on his ass, causing him to down an entire handle of 151. From here on out, Harry is not responsible for his actions. He will not remember tonight. Harry is drunk. Back in the living room, Max and Ruby are chit-chatting when Harry comes over and gets a little too touchy with the missus.
Delightful to see you, my dear.
This then prompts Max to kill Harry. It just fucking snaps his neck.
Look deeply into my eyes.
Okay, looking.
Now, cease your chattering.
You would think that would be the end of this, but no. Harry comes back, like Gandalf the Grey. This is about the time when our next and final guest appears. Bugaboo! Yep, that's right, that big purple thing I mentioned earlier is about to come out of the closet. Whenever Hannah sees Bugaboo, she decides once again that she's terrified of monsters. She then proceeds to run around the house, screaming.
Bugaboo, you're scaring her worse!
And every adult there, instead of trying to calm down this little girl, decides to chase her, along with the giant purple beast that she's running from. Bugaboo also says that he should request overtime if he's gonna work after hours.
If I start scaring kids after hours, I'm gonna put in for overtime.
Which makes me think, does Bugaboo work for Monsters Inc? Well, how does he get paid? Is there money in the Halloween realm? Does Bugaboo have to pay rent? Is that why there's 3 people that live in this one house, and 2 of them sleep in closets? So, Hannah grabs her laser gun flashlight and decides to replicate Max's actions. Hannah tries to kill Bugaboo.
I don't even like kids.
My flashlight! That will save me! Yeah! Take that!
But this doesn't work. and it's revealed that the flashlight doesn't actually hurt the monsters. It just hurts Jimmy because he's a little bitch that never leaves his bedroom, so the bright light hurts his eyes. If it ain't a computer screen playing hentai, Jimmy don't want none of it. Hannah and Bugaboo finally come to terms with each other after Bugaboo reveals that monsters don't actually eat people. House dance. I can't play the song, but just know that it does this like multiple times throughout the movie, and I love it every time. Next, there's this random scene of Jimmy and Bert that literally lasts for 20 seconds, and it's just Bert saying that the door is ajar.
Door is ajar. Door is ajar. Door is ajar.
Will you stop that?
A bit later, Jimmy and the gang are arguing over who gets to be group leader, because they all now have differing opinions about what should happen to Hannah. They don't all have differing opinions. Katie, Daryl, and Bert all think that they should go in and get Hannah out. Jimmy, however, doesn't want to save Hannah. He opts to leave her in the house for even longer until she just runs out of her own accord. Now at this point in time, a normal human being would be thinking, oh shit, oh damn, oh no, oh god, I just killed my little cousin, and now I'm about to get my ass whipped when I get home. The vote doesn't turn out right because everybody votes for themselves, Katie and Daryl vote for each other, and finally it's settled with a game of rock, paper, scissors. So it's determined that Jimmy is now the group leader, and his first degree of group leader is to eradicate the democracy of the group. He is now a totalitarian dictator.
Now what are we gonna do? We've practically missed Halloween. This isn't funny anymore.
We've got to go in and get Hannah. She's got to be scared to death by now.
I'm the leader of this group, and I say we wait.
Back at the Scary Godmother's place, Harry is awoken and proceeds to eat all of the food at the party. Scary Godmother then calls a meeting with her brewmates, which prompts Bugaboo to say the thing I want to hear my girlfriend say every night. Pizza?
Seriously? What are we going to do? We have to serve something. I'm getting hungry.
I'm starvulating.
I'm gonna fade away to nothing if I don't eat something soon.
Pizza!
The pizza turns out to be an incredible idea because, as it would happen, Bugaboo and Hannah both love pizza, so do I. But they both love extra cheese with olives. Oh my gosh, how specific.
Yeah! Extra cheese and olives! Yeah!
This completely cures Hannah's fear of monsters. She is no longer afraid of monsters. Because she knows they eat pizza with extra cheese and olives, she's not afraid of monsters. Now, if he had ordered like the carnivore special or some shit like that, or like the orphan baby sashimi pizza, I don't know. If he had ordered something like that, things might have gone differently, but Hannah's not afraid of monsters no more.
I thought monsters ate little girls.
Oh, that's silly. Little girls make the crust all soggy.
I have no words for the next update on the kids. Basically, everyone there believes that they've killed Hannah.
Can't believe we left Hannah in the spook house. We are gonna be in so much trouble, Jimmy. Can't believe we left Hannah in the spook house.
What if she never comes out?
At this point in the movie, the party's coming to an end, everything's winding down, and Hannah is wanting to go home.
I almost forgot what I came here for. I'm sorry I was scared of you, Bugaboo.
But before leaving, she straight doxes Jimmy.
Who told you that bunch of nonsense?
My cousin Jimmy.
Hannah, where is Jimmy now?
This is when the Scary Godmother comes up with a devious plan to terrify the older kids, and all of the monsters agree to help. All 5 adults at this Halloween party agree to help scare a bunch of little kids. Jimmy and the gang walk into the house only to see Orson standing there. And Jimmy's first reaction isn't, hey, what the hell did you do with my cousin?
Who the heck are you? What are you doing here?
I'm Orson. I am a vampire.
I'm Jimmy. I'm the devil.
He instead decides to insult the strange child that he just found hiding in a dark house by himself. That's never a good idea.
He ain't no vampire. He's just another dorky kid someone else dared to go into the spook house.
Then one by one, the monsters come out to scare the demon spawn, kind of mimicking how they scared Hannah at the beginning of the movie. But this time, Scary Godmother makes the slight suggestion that they should run into the basement. And like horror movie people always do, they immediately ran into the basement.
Hurry, my minions! Capture them before they reach the safety of the
basement!
In the basement, their eyeballs do that weird cartoon glow-in-the-dark thing. Eyeballs do not glow in the dark like that. You could argue that they do glow in the dark because humans exhibit slight bioluminescence. However, we would not be able to see it like that. And it is not that bright. Eyeballs do not glow in the dark. Please stop doing that in movies. The kids find Hannah in the basement, where she proceeds to use her God gun flashlight to kill every monster and save the older kids.
Not
Follow me!
Save me, Hannah!
They all flee the spook house, terrified of the monsters that lie within its rat corpse-filled walls. Hannah has this short but sweet goodbye with her scary godmother before she leads the older kids off into the night.
Will I ever see you again?
Anytime you want to come back to the Fright Side for a visit, just use this key in any door.
Not at all.
And then the monsters proceed to murder Harry.
Soon.
I could do it better.
Any pizza left? What? No, it's hungry work. I've built up quite an appetite. It's not easy scaring people, you know. Oh, no, don't. No, please don't.
And that's it. That's all of Scary Godmother. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. Later, y'all.